Alright guys, here is the zx14 that I just finished up. This bike only had a cosmetic restoration on it, as I call. Just went and repainted the frame on it and repainted the body. The bike originally was Kawasaki Candy Blue. We changed it over to paint by Sherwin-Williams. The color is Barrett Jackson series, and it's called Green Pearl. That's the color. This was pretty easy bike to do. Just had a lot of big pieces on it. But other than that, not a full-on restoration, but just a cosmetic restoration. The bike had been in California, sat out in the sun for a long time, and it's pretty faded. So we went and took and repainted it, got fresh paint on it. And it actually turned out really good. It's a pretty bike. Kawasaki had a color very similar to this. But we decided not to go with that just for the price cost. A lot of times these OEM bikes, the paint on them is very expensive. So we decided to go something a little bit different. So what we did to this bike was it's all green. We painted the mirrors on it, painted all the body. The gills on the side here originally were black. They're painted green with the bike now, which kind of makes it look a little bit different. Took and polished all the lights on the bike. They were all rock pitted and faded. They came out really, really nice. Really nice to polish up that plastic. Does a phenomenal job. Makes everything look brand new. I kept the old bolts. Now it needs to be polished up real good and cleaned up in a wash. But this is basically the build. Once I get it polished up, I'll take it outside. See a spot back there I had a little dirt nib in it. I have to sand out, but I'll polish that. You won't be able to see that. We'll get a wash and polish and wax on it, and I'll take it outside and let you guys see it in the sunlight. But the very pretty bike came out very nice. So all my people out there that buy these bikes and you do want to restore them, just do me a favor. Do not buy any aftermarket parts that are not OEM, because they don't fit. And basically this is what we have here. Our plastics that were bought from China, even though the OEM ones are made in China, but these are aftermarket, not OEM, and they just don't fit right. You can see all your gap fittings and stuff. They just don't fit correctly to the bike. Yes, you might save a few bucks on buying stuff like that, but in the end, it becomes a problem when you're fitting them to the bike. The gap lines and everything just don't fit. The parts don't fit, as you see. So when you're doing this and people ask and say, well, I can get these same parts off eBay for 40 bucks for both of them, when an OEM part costs $67 a piece. There's a reason being that OEM fits better, which means original equipment manufacturer. Those parts are made to standard and to a certain strict process guideline when they're made. That's why they fit good. An aftermarket piece, sometimes, if they're a good aftermarket piece, they'll fit, but if they're poorly made, they won't fit at all. These are poorly made. And this is the reason why I tell people to stay away from parts like this, because in the end, it doesn't make the bike look good. But this is what the customer wanted. That's what they wanted to pay. That's what he got. Personally, myself, I would never do that. I would have either went and bought used OEM parts for it or bought brand new OEM parts for it. Doesn't matter if they're used or brand new, as long as it's an OEM Kawasaki part. And that's what happens when you buy this stuff. The fit and finish, it's horrible. Yes, you might have saved a few bucks on it, but in the end, it looks horrible. Just want to let everybody know that. So when you're doing these restorations and stuff, yeah, there's a lot of people out here that make all these parts for these bikes, and there's a lot of aftermarket out there, but stay away from the cheap stuff. It doesn't fit, it doesn't work, and it makes a very nice bike look very poor in fit and finish, especially after you've lined everything up and things just don't fit. Also with screws, the same thing. You can go to places and buy screws and everything for these bikes, but I try to stick with the same deal, OEM, because OEM screws, they have the right heads on them and everything, the right finish, and they just look good. Yes, they cost a lot more money. Some of these screws are $3 to $4 a piece, believe it or not, which is hard to believe, but it is. But it's an OEM screw. It fits like it's supposed to. It has the correct look to it, and this is what makes the bike overall in the end look its best. So this is the picture. The video of the bike came out very pretty, very nice. But I got to go polish it up, like I said, and give it a good clean wash. And I'll post a picture of it outside. Starts real good, runs real good. This is a 2007 zx14 Kawasaki Ninja. It's probably one of your bigger sport bikes. Made to battle the Suzuki Hayabusa. And at one time, it was considered faster than the Suzuki Hayabusa. So it's a big bike. I don't recommend it for a beginner. The guy that owns this bike, we lowered it down a little bit, so it's not sitting so high. But it's open tour. You can carry 2 people on it, and you can ride 2 up on it. That little back seat cover back here, this comes off right here. You can take this off. You can have another added passenger on there. You can do that, but it's got enough power to it. It's got more than enough power, to be honest with you. It's probably a true, I think at one time it was a 200-mile-per-hour bike. That's just how fast it is if you're really a speed demon. But very nice, clean bike. Came out really nice. And like I said, we'll shoot some more video after it's been polished up and washed and everything outside, and we'll show you the pearl inside the paint, which is really pretty. It kind of really flops. You can see in the sunlight where it right now looks kind of dark, but when you get out in the sun, it really, really kind of glitters and shines and stuff and everything. So this is it. 2007 ZX14 Ninja. I'll talk to you guys later.